All right, you guys. Anybody out there? Give me a 5x5. Trying to keep track of two screens right now. Um, can you guys hear me? 5x5 if you can hear me. Chris Card, can you hear me? Crypto Nana in the house. What up? 4x4. 5 is it 4x4 or 5x5? I don't know. Hi. Crazy days. Oh my God. Crazy days. If you guys are subscribers to the Road to Roota YouTube channel, or more importantly, to the Road to Roota website, I sent out an email this morning. It was a song, Peace Train, Cat Stevens, the revised version of Cat Stevens. So appropriate for this time as we wait for the train. I believe it will come tomorrow. I do. I am a believer. I have been a believer in the good guys movement. They call it the Q movement now, or whatever you want to call it, since I discovered this Federal Reserve comic book called Wishes and Rainbows. That right there is roota. That is roota. Hold on a second here. I'm getting all these ads, so I figured nobody's on yet. Some people are on. All right, so that is roota. Yes, this is a Federal Reserve Bank comic book. Look right at the bottom. Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. Can you see that? And what really got me, I mean, this comic book is all about the little guy taking out the big guy. They call them the big people. That's who we're taking out as we speak. Probably has already started, but tomorrow will be the big day, I believe. But this Federal Reserve Bank comic book talks all about going back to a gold standard. That's all it talks about, is the absolute necessity of a gold standard. Remember, this was published before cryptos. This was published on the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston website on January 1st, 2007. I was there that day. Not only did they put it on their site, but they put it with a gigantic red exclamation point. And they also had the teacher's guide. It's called The Road to Roota. I actually have one. Hang on one second. Yeah, if you got your rare comic book collector, guys, if you're looking for something rare, right there. It's The Road to Roota, a teacher's guide. It tells you all about the need for a gold standard. And not only that, it talks about taking out the bad guys. Taking out, they call them the big people. And then it even has a reference to 9/11. Look what Roota wrote in the sand. 11 plus 9. 11 plus 9. It's all coming down to now and tomorrow. I'm not scared. I've been waiting for this for a very long time. When the Q movement came out, I was real excited about that. I'm like, oh my God, other people are going to start believing in this crazy conspiracy theory that there are actually good guys trying to take down the bad guys to save our country. Amazing, amazing. So here's what I want to say. And I wrote down some things that, this is just my take. If you go on YouTube or on any website, anything conspiracy, you're going to hear 50,000 different versions of what's going to happen. None of them are correct. I think even the good guys aren't, they're very flexible in how this is going to go down. But I do think it is going to go down. As in, at the very last minute, all the guards that are surrounding Washington, D.C., 25,000 guardsmen, are going to turn around and point their guns towards the criminals that are inside the gate. That's what I believe. Let's talk about who's going to be inside the gate. And by the way, Jenny Moonstone and I had a great reading on that on the private road. And she's had that dream for a long time. Guards sitting at a wall, and then at the very last second, they turn the guns inward. If it's symbolic, probably symbolic, but at the same time, think about it. Who's going to this inauguration? You've got all of Congress plus one. They're all going plus one. I don't, obviously Trump is not going. You've got, so basically the entire deep state is going. Probably all the Democratic operatives are going. Everybody and their mother wants to be part of their historic comeback, the end of Trump. They are blind, and they're walking into their own cell. Here's the deal about this inauguration. One, there is no weapons allowed in the inauguration, obviously. Obviously. So all these deep staters, all these congressmen, all their bodyguards will all be disarmed. Number two, I don't think they're allowing any cell phones either. These people are walking into jail completely naked, if you ask me. And number three, no bodyguards. These people walk around with bodyguards at all times. So not only that, but it's the Hollywood crowd too. There's Tom Hanks. Scary when you go down that trail. Lady Gaga, scary when you go down that trail. It's like they're all walking into their own jail cell. But we'll see. I mean, I did hear that Nancy Pelosi wanted all the guardsmen from 50 states. They're coming from 50 states at the 25,000. Symbolic. Nancy Pelosi wanted them all not to have any ammunition in their guns. Are you kidding me, Nancy? We know why Nancy wants that. All right. And then it gets to, yeah, Bix, this is just a story. We've heard it all. That's bullshit. It's not going to happen like that. Biden's going to take over. It's going to be the same thing. If it is the same thing, let me give you a little hint about what's going to go down. Number one, Donald Trump will be eliminated. Not just, try to get him out of office or try to get him not to run again. They will take him out along with his family because they don't want any buddy from that crowd running ever again against the deep state. So do you think Trump has a little bit on the line right now? But you do too. Anybody who supported him will be put in re-education camps. They've already talked about it. Just when wait till they get power. That's one of the first things they're going to do. Number three is massive payoffs. These guys have been out of office for 4 years, so they got to pay off the people who protect them. So there's going to be massive amounts of bills running through Congress, and they're all going to be paying off the people behind the scenes. So keep an eye on that. It's not just the, what is it, 1.3 trillion or something that Biden said. It'll be another trillion and another trillion. They got to pay these guys back for sticking with them for 4 years. Everything will go to China, obviously, and we will see communism in the United States of America. That's if it doesn't work. That's if Biden gets sworn in as president on tomorrow, on the 20th. So there's a lot at stake here. Again, I'm on the side of roota. Roota is not sad. Look at roota. Can you see that? Oh, man. I don't think I can get it properly. Roota is jumping up and down right there on the road to Roota. There's the gold cave in the Grand Canyon, the silver brick road. Yes, I bought a whole bunch of blanks right before, actually, they're getting delivered to my storage area probably today. I hope so today. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, right? So, yeah, I don't even know what to say. That's why I put that song out tomorrow. Now, I do know one thing that has to happen. The left has to come around to seeing what the right, some people within the right see. Both sides need to come around to understand that we are being played. It's not just Democrats that are going to get nailed. It's Republicans, it's deep state operatives all over the place. This is not a Republican-Democrat thing. They put a wedge between people in the United States, and that is the big thing that Trump and the good guys have to crack open for people, is show them what was going on. Show them all the bad things, and they are bad. They are satanic. They are, I've talked about the pedos a lot, and that's a huge part of especially the Democratic leadership, and that's how they control people. So that's all got to be shown. So that's the only way to unite the country. But once that is shown and it is understood exactly what happened to our country and why, then everybody is going to point their anger towards the people who deserve it, these deep state criminals. So that's where I am. It can be done. It'll be shock and awe. We'll have financial collapses. There has to be financial collapses. No, there'll be no Nesara and Nesara. There'll be versions of that that will play out. But no, you're not going to get your 401k, and it's obvious for anybody who's in banking knows that one person's debt is another man's asset. And no, it's not just the banksters. Who do you think buys most of these derivatives, the mortgage-backed securities? It's in your pension funds. It's in all that. So you cannot pick and choose. That's the big thing on the road to roota, has always been. There can't be deciders in this. You got to wipe out everything. And to wipe out everything, it's easy. Just take down one of the big banks, any one of them, take your pick, that has a big derivative book, because that takes out everything. So there won't be any financial massaging of the numbers or anything like that. Oh no, we could take away the money from the bad guys and give it to the good guys. Yeah, who's the decider there? And how are you going to get it? Quadrillions of dollars have been printed that the U.S. government doesn't even tell you about. Ask Catherine Austin Fitts. There's no Nesara rejuggling of that money. There will be a debt jubilee, but it won't be a happy thing. All your assets will be gone as well. Electronic assets. You have to have silver and cryptos in your own possession. And if you don't like silver, you like gold over silver, that's up to you. You make that call. I've shown 10 ways till Sunday how there's 10 times as much gold in the world as they say there is. And just look historically, the gold-silver ratio right now is 73 to 1. You can walk into your local coin shop with an ounce of gold and walk out with 73 ounces minus the commission. You'll probably get 68 or something like that. But that's a hell of a lot. I do think the gold-silver ratio is going 1 to 1. Why? Because there's 6 billion ounces of gold. Well, they say there's 6 billion ounces of gold above ground. We know there's 60 billion, but let's just say there's 6, like they say, and there's 6 billion ounces of silver above ground. We know silver is more rigged than gold. How do we know this? Look at the volumes traded on the COMEX. On Friday, last Friday, 1.1 billion ounces of electronic silver were dumped on the market. Dumped. We have no regulators. There is no such thing as regulation. The CFTC runs cover for the manipulation. So yes, get your crypto silver in your own possession. Now, cryptos will be very interesting. I do think, I know there will be a crypto collapse. When the banks collapse, everything collapses. We won't know the price of silver. We won't know the price of cryptos. That's why it's so important to get it in your own possession. And then you got regulators. Regulators, if the good guys win, regulators will embrace gold and silver and embrace some cryptocurrencies. Not all cryptocurrencies. Some cryptocurrencies. They will go after some that they don't like. They will go after the ones held by the deep state. XRP, for example. I know a lot of people are upset that their XRP didn't go up like all the great gurus told them. I'm sorry, you made the wrong choice. You bet on a horse that was running in their race. You need to get your cryptos out of the system. I think there'd be a huge drop in Bitcoin. And there's a very simple reason for that. All the institutional money that's coming in now, by definition, has to come out. By definition, has to come out. The first thing those institutions do is liquidate the valuable assets. So they're going to be liquidating all the Bitcoin they bought over the last few years. They'll be trying to. The exchanges won't even be open. That's where we lie, I believe. Now, again, like I said when I opened this up, there's 50,000 different scenarios that have been run. Good guys, bad guys, crash, no crash. I don't have the answers. This is what I feel from studying this stuff for, how long have I been studying this? 20 years I've been talking about the transfer of the monetary system. And since I discovered the Road to Roota documents, that was 14 years ago, I've been talking about there are good guys behind the scenes that have a plan. Again, in the Jenny Moonstone discussion, we talked about the plan for silver. There is a plan for silver. Get as much as you can in your own possession now, not tomorrow, obviously not tomorrow. You definitely won't be able to buy any silver when the banks shut down. You probably won't be able to buy any silver tomorrow anyway. if what I think's going to happen, and I think's going to happen, is going to be a change in government. I don't think Trump is going to jump up as president. I think the military is going to take these guys down. It's going to be televised for the world, and they're going to show you why over the next couple months, and then we'll figure out who's president. I'm a really not a fan of government at all. So, I mean, the less people who work for government, I think the better off we are. But the beauty of the whole thing, and everybody's like, oh my God, a banking collapse, I'll lose all my money. The beauty is that you lose all your debt too. And the biggest problem in the world today is debt. And most of that debt is held by the bad guys and the banksters. And so, yeah, it will be crazy. It'll be ridiculous. It'll be necessary. This is what has been kicked down, the can that was kicked down the road since 1907, 1908, when they found billions and billions of ounces in the Grand Canyon, ounces of gold. If you've been on the road to roota, you know what I'm talking about. They didn't want to disrupt the monetary system back then. Remember, in 1900, there was only about 120 billion ounces of gold in the U.S. Treasury, and probably another 150 billion ounces of gold million, excuse me. 120 million ounces of gold in U.S. Treasury. And then overall on the planet, there was about 300 million, with an M, million ounces of gold. And then they discovered billions and billions and billions of ounces along the banks of the Colorado River. And Woodrow Wilson allowed the Federal Reserve to happen. And right after that, what did he do? He locked up the Grand Canyon and all the rivers that lead all the way up to the top. The top of the Grand Canyon is way the hell up into Utah. I think it's Utah, or even farther. And it's just along the banks because that's where they found all the gold. It's placer gold. There's other gold in there, which we've seen in the remote viewing session. But the placer gold is the one that was on the front page of the New York Times in 1912, right before, I think it was a shot across the bow, right before they created the Federal Reserve System. So the can had to be kicked and kicked and kicked, and it got more and more painful the longer it went. And they couldn't get the banksters out. But now we're there. We're at the end of the road. On the road to roota. One way or the other. If Biden is put in as president, you will immediately see the destruction of the good guys, the removal of all the generals instantly that were on Trump's side. Their lives are at stake too. I mean, this is big. I hope everybody understands that. Okay, let's go to questions because I know everybody has them. Don't trust the plan. Well, there's nothing you can do now. And that's what, kind of my video this morning, Peace Train. Now's the time to sit back and whatever happens, happens. You came down here to planet Earth for a reason. It's to live through this and to learn lessons from this. I think the best lesson we can learn today is calm and patience, and let's just see what happens. And then when something happens tomorrow, one way or the other, we'll devise a way to move forward. Always moving forward, always growing in soul growth. And what's the best way to grow your soul? Practice love and compassion. This is a game we're playing, and we're the little what do they call them? We're the men. We're the men in the video game and the women in the video game. You pick your player. We're the players. And we will be leaving this earth one day. Nobody lives forever. And we will check back on our lives and we'll say, hey, how'd I do? Did I learn the lessons I want to learn? How did I deal with this crazy shift? Nobody's seen this type of thing for, I can't even tell you how long, if ever. We've never had in the history of history an unbacked global fiat monetary system. It's crazy to think about, but it's a faith-based system, and the people who are running that system were the most corrupt people on the planet. So how do you have faith in anything like that? So, biblical times, yeah, I agree. Not a big Bible, I love the good stories. I can chuck the rest. It's like the religion. I love the good things that they give to humanity. Throw away the rest. It's not worth it. I've written 4 books on God, so anybody who wants to challenge me on that one, let's go. All right. Let's see who. Oh, Josh Lake in the house. What's up, Josh? We'll see you in Flagstaff very soon. Clint is in the house. Look at all my friends in the house. I know it's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm watching everybody's show. My buddy Jean-Claude did a show last night. Great show with Lisa and a group of people. Dave was in there and Amy, and it was great. My Amy loved it. Absolutely loved it. And she's like, why can't you do that something like they do? And I'm like, they do their own thing. That's their expertise. I stick to my expertise. My expertise is the banking and the criminal cabal behind the banking system and the rigging of gold and silver and picking certain crypto that shall not be named that I think will be by far the number 1 crypto, Theta. And yeah, I mean, the more I look at it, the more I know Theta is, and I have a feeling that an entity much like Satoshi is behind Theta. And there's been some remote viewing done on that, and I talked to Jenny Moonstone about that, and I have my own intuition that I think Satoshi was kind of pissed that the deep state pedos got a hold of so much crypto. And so he said, okay, I'm going to invent something that does everything: smart contracts, DeFi, secure blockchain, fast, cheap. And I'm going to get this group who knows about videos to disseminate all this amazing technology to people. So it's not centralized in the hands of the cabal. Voila, there you have Theta. That's my deal. That's my guesstimate. And remember, Michelle Whitedove, that's always been her number 1 pick, into the thousands. She said, and Dick Allgaier, the first time he heard about cryptos, the first thing he said was Theta. And if you've watched the Hitomi remote viewing of Theta, it'll shock and awe you. Shock and awe. And obviously, we saw it go up 40 times last year. I'm seeing at least another 40x move, maybe 100x this year, because they are doing some advertising with celebrities, meaning who's going to win the Super Bowl, who's the star. They're going to hire that dude to talk about Theta and esport. Theta and esports go hand in hand. But I see Theta as the future of the internet, fixing that gigantic broadband problem we have. Your little circle goes round and round. That's what Theta solves. It's called the last mile problem or something to that effect. Okay. John Teeter says no digital money in the future. I know. Yeah, I've studied John Teeter, and I hear you. Of course, John Teeter's been wrong. We all know that. So I don't, there's a lot of things I liked about it. The timing was, and I don't see some of the war things they see happening. I think that was a timeline that did not come true. And John Teeter's in 2030. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there was on Art Bell, like in the early 2000s, there's this guy, John Teeter, claimed to be a time traveler and predict quite a few things. And, but I don't think we're going to have to see war. I think Trump and the good guys are going to take out the bad guys, and we are going to live a better existence. Not the same as, we can't live anymore with blinders on. We have to demand transparency and honesty from our government. That's why I'm sure that market rigging cannot continue if the good guys don't allow Biden to get in. I think everything needs to be on the table going forward, because we were duped. There's no doubt. We've been duped for the last 100 years, and that's got to end. So we're there tomorrow at 12, high noon tomorrow. Hopefully it happens before that, but I don't know. We will find out. But if Biden does get in, it's over for us. I mean, it's not over. I'll still fight, but without the good guys in charge of the military, we're pretty much screwed. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I have 100% faith that we're going to do well. All right. Best place to buy Theta in the USA. Oh, that's another thing. Theta is coming to Coinbase this year, supposedly. I don't see how it can come to Coinbase, truthfully, because there's already 56% of the tokens are staked. And I have a feeling that there's a lot more on hold behind the scenes for like Verizon and some of the big gaming companies. Sony hasn't declared how much they have, and they're not going to sell them. So I think it might not come to Coinbase because Coinbase can't get the tokens. But we will see. We will see. Exciting stuff, though, for Theta. All right. Bix, is G Pool stake considered in your own possession? Yes, absolutely. Now, it used to be two different kinds of G Pool staking. Now there's just one. All you're doing is using their Guardian node summary, so you don't have to run your own Guardian node. The coins are locked up on your own wallet. So you'll see, if you have your Theta wallet, you'll see, okay, I'm going to stake 1,000 Theta. You stake it, you use their Guardian node summary, which is a big long code, and then you won't see them in your wallet anymore. But if you go to the stakes section, you'll see it there. The only place that stake can return to is your same wallet. That's the only place it can go. That's written into the code. So there you have it. Is Paige Goodger on the line? Word Wednesday with Paige has been awesome. I don't know if we're going to do it tomorrow. I haven't heard from her. Tomorrow's kind of a big day. So, Paige, let me know. All right. What else? What do you guys want to talk about? Silver, I think we are like on the brink. I was reading Ted Butler's latest, and the setup is there. These latest slams have been exactly what we thought it was. The big silver shorts covering as many shorts as they can, but they can't get all of them. They're trying, they just can't get them. So that's the whole reason to slam silver down. Every time you see a silver slam, that's all that's being done. They start the waterfall, all the weak hands puke, and then the bad guys, the top 4 traders who are short, I think it's about 300 million, a little over 300 million ounces, cover. That's all that happens. And the CFTC knows about it, and they are criminal in their assistance. That's why I hate regulators. Life without regulators would be great. It would mean everybody would stay away from criminal markets. And unless the market was a good market, they wouldn't go in. So Nesara tomorrow, no, not Nesara as it's packaged. It's impossible to rejigger, and it doesn't fix anything. Nesara never fixed the problem of massive amounts of money hidden in little corners everywhere around the world. And then you're ended up with, we'll go to some form. I mean, there's a lot of things that are good in Nesara. But you know, when you take away like the debt jubilee part of Nesara, you're gonna have to reallocate assets. Who do you reallocate it to? You know, debt, one man's debt is another man's asset. 99% of everybody's assets out there in America and around the world are debt based. So you're gonna take those away when you take care of the debt. And then you have to have deciders of who's gonna decide and who gets what. And that's the difficult part. Although in the United States, Alan Greenspan's plan from the Road to Roota documents is to reallocate money according to Social Security balances, which is really interesting because it gives, that's why they cap Social Security. I think it's at $120,000 and you don't have to pay it afterwards. You've been paying into Social Security your entire working life in the United States if you're in that system. One way to reallocate money that's kind of fair is those who have worked the most should get the most of the new money. And then those who are kind of new to the working situation would get less. Everybody would kind of get a base salary. So there's going to have to be some socialist type of stuff like basic incomes and things like that, only because of the destruction of the old system, in my opinion. But we'll find out, right? Yeah, the beauty of predictions these days, all these people with their ideas and predictions, we're going to know tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Anybody says, no, we're waiting until March 4th because that's the signing of the 19th president. It won't go past. It won't go past tomorrow. The reason is Biden and the human element. No Democrat would allow it. They would think that Biden was in office, even if he wasn't officially. They would think he's in office. They would have a shit fit if they tried. It would be worse down the line. Take care of it now. Never swear him in. Let the military run things for a little while. Let the markets crash, and then let's restart. That's my take. So yeah, noon tomorrow is the deadline for anybody, as far as if they got predictions. Bix, should we buy silver and Theta today? Every day buy silver and Theta. People say, oh, but Bix, if you think there's going to be a market crash, why don't you pull all your money out now and then buy when it crashes? Well, that's simple. There will be no exchanges open. If the banks crash, there's no exchanges. Just because they deal in crypto doesn't mean that all their employees aren't paid in fiat money. And there would be no, you'd be lucky to get your internet working type of thing. So this is a big deal, what's happening. I don't know how it will work out. Chaos is the only thing I can predict, really. But we've been kicking the chaos can down the road since early 1900s. It's time to end it. All right. David Montgomery, Bix, do you have to stake your Theta? No, you don't have to. You don't have to stake your Theta. I mean, you don't earn that much in T-Fuel right now with the T-Fuel prices. But there's no reason not to. The only reason not to is if you want to have more flexibility with selling your Theta, because it takes 55 or 60 hours to pull for the stake to be unstaked. So it would take a few days. If you're like, oh man, I want to trade, but my Theta is staked. That's the only reason not to. What I do is I stake my Theta, and then every time I get a little bit of Theta or T-Fuel, I will swap that for Theta. Any good way to grow your Theta. That's my take. All right, windy in NorCal. Oh my God, yes. I was up all night. The wind was whipping. It ripped. We had a brand new greenhouse, a little stronger than the one we had. I mean, these are the portable rinky-dink ones you get off Amazon. We had a brand new one, and the whole thing ripped off last night. It was so crazy windy. Crazy windy. So, yes. And I thought, oh my God, it's the bad guys turning on their wind machine, their weather modification. Who knows? Who knows? Games and Trades asks, give Veritasium a shout out, please. I've hodled for over 2 years. Okay. Yes. I mean, I've hodled for over 2 years as well. We've been through the shit. We went through the SEC bullshit. Where do I think Veritasium is going? I've been calling it a lottery ticket. The lottery got a little sweeter when Reggie announced the other day that, oh, by the way, he was granted a patent for Veritasium. It's basically DeFi. He has the only DeFi patent in the world. It's out of Japan. It doesn't count in the US, I don't believe. So things, I think it's out of the lottery ticket type of long shot. It's looking better and better for Veritasium, but I mean the lottery ticket would mean you win the big money, and that would be the implementation of Cliff High's prophecy, that the U.S. government comes to Reggie and says help save our markets, and implements Veritasium. Do I think that is going to happen? It's a lottery ticket. Do I think Veritasium, the remaining tokens, will be worth something? There's 2 million tokens on lockdown. But here's the problem with the Veritasium tokens. If the government doesn't release them, they will always hang over the Veritasium supply. So the government has 98 million tokens. Now the patent is for Reggie Middleton. Reggie owns that patent. It doesn't necessarily go with Veritasium, but it could. That's the lottery ticket stuff. It's hard to buy. If you go buy Veri, you're gonna jump the price. If you guys, I used to buy on Mercatox. I heard they have them, but the supply is tiny. The fees are through the roof. Yeah. All right, let's see. What else are we talking about in the chat room? Any questions on? Cliff High showed massive unexplained energy force pushing on the planet. Cliff is awesome. He's done some new videos lately, by the way. I would say that aspect of it, we've been talking a long time. If you're on the private road at Road to Roota with my Jenny Moonstone discussions, this is not a battle just on planet Earth. Not at all. This is a battle with the ETs. This is a battle with the spiritual beings. This is a battle as above, so below. A battle up, down, and sideways. And we're coming to an end game. And there are people, there are entities, there are spirits, there are souls, there are ETs, everybody watching. National Popcorn Day is today. Everybody watching what's going to happen over the next few months. And luckily, I believe the spiritual side is on the side of the good guys. The bad guys had their 100 years of reign. That's over. It's over. I'm sorry, Biden. You're over. The Democrats that don't know about the dark side of what has been going on, or the Republicans that don't know about the dark side of the Republican Party, it's time to wake up. They're going to be shown very specifically, very visually, very in your face, horrifically, what has been going on. That is the only way to unite the country. It's not about politics. It's not about any of the things we've been fighting about. It's about pedophilia. And that is horrific on any level. And those involved with it will be taken down, in my opinion. All right. Let's see what else we got. Charlie announced Visa Litecoin card coming out soon last night. Yeah, I saw. Charlie's not a good actor. But he's a computer programmer. He's a really nice guy. But yeah, he should have rehearsed a little more. It was good. But yeah, there is a Litecoin credit card coming out linked to Visa, which is really cool. That's great. I'll throw some Litecoin on there. I would say it's more like a debit card. It's not a credit card, I think. Because you have to load Litecoin onto it. But it pulls, your Litecoin will sit there, appreciate or depreciate. And as you use your card, that's when it instantly cashes it in. I don't know what exchange it's based on, but I'm sure they figured something out there. So yeah, that's really cool. Moving forward. JFK is alive. Q is very real. We'll find out, right? We'll find out in the next, probably, if they roll out JFK, who just turned 60, by the way, would have just turned 60 or just turned 60. If they roll out JFK to, talk about the news of the cabal and the bad guys, talk about a country uniter, that would unite the country. And then he would probably be president or vice president or whatever. So yeah, that would be great. I have no evidence of that other than people talking smack. No, there's no evidence of that. So I don't know. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, that's what's going to happen. I think it'd be really cool. I do look for ways to unite the left and the right into one America, and stuff like that will do it. But definitely exposing the pedophiles will do it. So that's where I am. All right. Harley says, what the fuck, JFK? Yeah, it's a conspiracy theory going around out there. So I don't know. I am not gonna take a position one way or the other. Stranger things have happened, and my only thing would be saying, where the hell was he all these years? I mean, where were you, JFK? That would be really cool. I'm sure he'd explain that. Or maybe he's a spiritual walk into another, but I don't know. But keep open mind for this party. It's a crazy party. Amy Weir's in the house. Little late for work. Spyro Bix, I think you're wishful thinking. Absolutely. I wish the best for everything and everybody. I also do my homework, though. Wishes and Rainbows is not the Fed saying we're going to steal your money and your lives. Wishes and Rainbows is a comic book produced by the New York or Boston Fed that says we're going to take out the banking cabal and go back to a gold standard. That's not a wish. It's not a wishful thinking. That's something I discovered and then followed by all the facts and the research I did over the past 20 years. So there you go. I am the first one to say the road to roota theory was a positive, very positive theory, that there's good guys behind the scenes. And clearly, with the Q movement, it brought a whole bunch of more people onto the side of the road to roota. My GATA friends hated me for saying it. Hated me saying the Federal Reserve was the good guys. There's people within the Fed working to take down the crazy cabal of banksters. They hated me. I get hated a lot. I don't know why. I'm such a nice guy. Why does everybody hate me? XRP people, that's okay. You can hate me. All right. Yeah, if the road to roota theory is ultimately proven, I think it will be, and pans out at least kind of close to the way I talked about it. When was that? Over 14 years ago? I might even be famous. We'll see. Bix, best case for Theta in 2018 Ready Player One movie. I have seen that, yeah. And as a matter of fact, Theta and all the gamers and all that goes hand in hand. And the remote viewing they did, Dick Allgaier came and basically everybody was in awe of what Theta did for gaming. And then you can say, oh, it's AI taking over the world. I don't believe that. Cliff describes it better. Quantum computers, the ability of quantum computers, and it doesn't resonate with me. So yeah, that's where we are. Bix, when does our bandwidth get better when you stake? That's two different things. So Theta has a amazing blockchain. One of probably the most amazing blockchain out there. It's fast, it's cheap, it's secure. Byzantine fault. It's kind of like Hedra Hashgraph, except better and available now. But to your question about the bandwidth, that's the what's it called? Theta node cacher. Node cacher? All right, guys, help me out. What was it called? That's a different thing that you download on your computer that you're sharing your broadband and you're earning T-Fuel. That's different than the Guardian nodes where you're staking. But you can stake T-Fuel as well now in beta. That comes on, I don't know, Edge Cacher, that's what it's called. Thank you, Chris Card. Yeah, the Edge Cacher on your computer right now, go to thetatoken.org and you can download the Edge Cacher. You can share your broadband capabilities and earn T-Fuel. That's a great, it's free T-Fuel. You got to keep your computer on at all times. But might as well, right? Edge node, Edge Cacher. I think it's called the Edge node. And it was Edge node Cacher for a while. I used to call it Edge node Catcher. Hey, we're all learning this. This is all new to everybody. So, yeah, there are ways to get T-Fuel through swapping. Simpleswap.io. And there's a couple others. They're a little risky. Everything's a little risky in cryptos anyway. So, all right. Lori Fawcett, have non-perishable food and water. I've heard the Rothschilds own the power companies. Not sure, but they could pull the plug on. No, I don't think so. I think they're one of the key entities, families that are being taken out. We did see one of the senior Rothschild guys die. He was only 57. That doesn't happen to a Rothschild. But no, if Trump's and the good guys are going to take these guys out, they're not going to control anything anymore. They're done. They'll be tried for their crimes. So we'll see. We will see soon enough, won't we? All right. Oh, hit the thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Oh, wow. Look at all those people. 12, almost 1,300 people. Cool. Steve says, take all the bad guys out. I agree. Now, there will be some plea bargaining for some people. Maybe. Because some of these people, I don't think anybody should get a pass, but some were blackmailed into doing things. And that should be taken into account. Maybe. I think military tribunals for all of them The military tribunals are different than our criminal courts. The judges are all bought and paid for by the deep state, so not all, but a vast majority of them. But the military tribunals, they can take all evidence into account. You should be able to do that anyway, but in regular courts, you can't take all evidence into account. But military tribunals that's what my vote, especially if the military takes over for a couple months, which seems like is going to happen. Bix for the new Means of Exchange Commission. I don't want to work for the government. I advocate less government. There's so many people that work for the government right now. Last count, it was over 30 million people work directly or indirectly in the U.S. for the government. That's insane. That's just why. I do believe we won't have taxes, income taxes, which would be great. We shouldn't have income tax already. Income tax goes right to the Queen of England. Anybody who's done any homework on that. So, yeah. I'm not saying don't pay your taxes if April comes and Biden's in, because they'll come get you. We know that the IRS does not abide by the law. So, yeah, pay your taxes while you have to. And then, but I don't think we'll have to. Obviously, if our debt is gone, why would we pay anything? Keep the roads going, stuff like that. Okay. That would be a use tax on gasoline or something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of moving parts in this. But don't think that the good guys within the government haven't been planning this, because they have been for over 100 years. It's just nobody had the balls to pull the trigger. Catherine Austin Fitts calls it pressing the red button. How nobody wants to do it, because everything would change after that. Thank God for Trump. He's pressing that red button tomorrow at noon, I believe. So we'll find out tomorrow, right? Stay inside, hunker down with your family. Try to explain it to them. That's the best thing. Explain to your family what's going on. Send them this video. At the beginning, I talked about all the things that I believe are going to happen. It's not going to happen the way I laid out. It's not going to happen the way anybody laid out. And anybody who says, oh, here's what's going to happen, you could just turn that channel off, because they don't know. But there is something happening, I believe, and we will find out. All right. How long have we been going here? 47 minutes. All right. I got a little while longer. Any other questions? Throw them in the chat room. They go by so fast. As far as silver, yes, I do see silver breaking free. If the banks collapse, obviously the COMEX would shut down as well. And then when some kind of there is no silver exchange on the planet right now. COMEX is a futures and options exchange. The LBMA is an association. It doesn't even have anything to do with discovering prices. So there is no true pricing of silver right now. I do think silver will go to the cliff highs, $800 at first, as soon as any market reopens. So get your physical silver in your own possession. And when you think about it, $600 silver in a crashed economic system where nobody has any money has a hell of a lot more purchasing power than $600 silver today. So $600 silver might buy you a house by then. Who knows? My favorite, Goodspeed says, my favorite silver is my roota coins. Look at that, baby. That's a cool coin. Everybody's like, why don't you put it out? Why don't you still give those away? I don't know. I got some blanks, so for after the crash, we'll start selling them probably at some point. They're really cool. I want to do the high relief strike. You know, these are double strike with what they call luster, and they look really good. And they're all numbered on the bottom. I don't think the camera will pick it up, but they're numbered on the bottom. I want to do the high relief is like it really goes down deeper. If you guys have seen those, I want to do those next and call them like the Freedom Coins and not Freedom Girl, like our friend Chris Twain, but like Freedom Coins or something to that effect. Year one coins maybe, and number each one of them. But yeah, Amy would have to deal with the shipping, and she's like, I don't want to deal with the shipping. So give her a hard time. All right. John Wesley, if the internet goes down at 8 a.m., would the stock market and COMEX go down too? Absolutely. Well, if the internet goes down, we are all in a world of hurt. Depends how long it's down for. If it's down for 4 or 5 days, we're all fine, maybe. But everything is reliant upon the internet now. All delivery mechanisms, even up to power plants, they can't be offline for too long. So if the internet goes down, we are completely effed. So all you people who say, "Oh, gold's better than Bitcoin because if the internet goes down, we still have gold." Did you ever see in Mad Max, were they ever changing gold for anything? No. No. It's not going to, gold will be worthless in a Mad Max world. So will cryptos in a Mad Max world. So will most everything except, guns and cigarettes, and we probably wouldn't survive it. I think they said 90 days. In 90 days, 95% of the population will be dead if the internet completely went down now. Kind of scary. Bix, what do you know about Elon Musk's Starlink internet? I know a little bit. It's a service provider. People are like, oh, it'll take. You don't need Theta. No, it's completely different. Theta is a content delivery network. I don't like the Starlink internet. Why? Because you got, what was it, 44,000 satellites in low Earth orbit zipping around in the sky. And if I was in China and I want to screw it up, bang, I'll just shoot one of them down. There's all this space junk flying around in the same orbit, taking out each one like little ping pong balls. What is that game where it's like a chain reaction? Everything will go ping, 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 and all of a sudden, and this is scary to think about, but it's in Cliff High's data that there's all this space junk that needs to be cleaned up. So no, I'm not a fan of it. Although Amy has a Tesla and she likes Musk, so maybe. I mean, I like the fact that you could get internet anywhere, but I don't trust the guy. Bix, what are you giving out for your new Road to Roota memberships? Nothing. Last night we finished the Theta giveaways. We might start again, but for now, as we go through this transition, we are on hold for giving out anything. Yes, you should still join the private road. We have 3,000 pages of articles. We had everything you want to know about silver, gold, cryptos. But at the time being, we are not giving out anything. We are hunkering down for the long haul of whatever comes next. And then when we think the coast is clear, yeah, we'll start giving stuff out again. How's that? All right. Amy says, I love my car, not Elon. Gotcha. Sorry. She does love her car. I love her car too. It's a pretty damn cool car. It scares me. It goes too fast. Amy, goes too fast. But yeah, it's cool. Okay. What were you growing in your greenhouse that got taken out? There wasn't a lot in there at this moment in time. We had kind of let it go by the wayside. There's peppers do well in our backyard. Our backyard's weird because the house blocks it, so it doesn't get a lot of sunlight. We gotta move. How long have I been saying that? Amy, I want to buy a monster box of the Road to Roota coins. Well, there's the other thing about the Road to Roota coins. There is it's a scarcity factor for the old Road to Roota members. Now, the first coin was just a single strike coin, and those were numbered on a piece of paper plastic thing. The second was numbered on the bottom. These are these coins. These are the double strike ones. So I like to keep the scarcity stuff. It's not coming into play yet because nobody really knows about the Road to Roota theory. When it does, I think they'll be worth a lot of money to the subscribers who got them. But I do want to do some high relief coins because I think those are just really cool. If you've ever held one in your hand, you're like, wow, this is awesome. And the design on the coin, where are we? I can't even see it. It's Roota going down a silver brick road, Federal Reserve in the background, cave of gold in the Grand Canyon, and then on the back it says May the road you choose be the right road. I got to work on my skills on doing that. A really cool coin. I think you can get them online right now. Well, everybody who has one is like, oh my God, I can get a 10% premium if I put it online right now because people are going to try to get it. So, yeah. So, the answer to the question is we're not giving away anything right now, except all the love and appreciation of you guys being on the private road. How's that? And I haven't been monetizing today either, because I don't think YouTube will be around in the form it is by the end of next month when they'll pay out. So I don't know what's going to go on. And when I don't know something, I sit there and I rack my head. I go, okay, what are the scenarios? And there's so many scenarios in this thing. So yes, take the peace train. Sit back, relax, don't freak out. Remember, you are a spiritual being having a physical experience here on the planet for a short time, and you can blame yourself for having to live through this because you chose it. You chose to live through this for a reason, and that's the beautiful thing about it. And figure out what your reason is. Figure out, why did I choose now to come down? Why did I choose the life I have led so far? What were the lessons I was trying to learn? Because if I go back to heaven or wherever you go to the spirit world and say, okay, let's have my life review. I want to check out how I did. What are the things you're going to be proud of? And what are the things you're going to say, shit, I better go back and redo that again. Karma's a bitch. All right. I want to keep this under an hour. And it looks like we did it. Good. You guys, I love you all. I will make sure you go to roota.com, sign up for the free emails. That's how I'll keep in touch with people. If YouTube goes down or they listen to this video and get all pissed off and take my channel down, you can always find me at roota.com. It's free. Put your email address in and I will send you emails just about daily these days. All right? Take care, love one another, and inform. Tell everybody, listen to this interview a couple times because I think this is close to the way it might go down. I don't know, though. And the key is to make sure that you're not saying, ha, 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 we beat you. Because nobody wins when we do that. Nobody wins. Americans are Americans. Group hug time tomorrow, if you ask me. All right, that's all I got. This is Big Square. roadtoroota.com. I'll talk to you guys later.